For Bill, we have a question from a very ambitious person. He said, as a young man who intends to overtake you as the world's richest man, what kind of vision do I require, and what specific advice would you give me, Bill?
Well, fortunately, I don't think there's any single metric that defines excellence. Hopefully that person has some ideas, or he sees beyond the current generation. My luck was to be born at a time when computing was going from a very centralized, expensive form, where the amount of software that was needed was very, very modest, and so it wasn't even considered the magic element of the system. The hardware, just keeping it running, buying it, babysitting it, was the center of the industry. And yet, because the microprocessor chip was coming along and essentially, from my point of view, making computing free and storage free and eventually even network bandwidth free, I could conceive of a form of software in terms of a tool for the individual that was radically different than any other software. I remember at the time the industry award for the top selling software was if you sold 10,000 copies, you got the big trophy and they gave you a big banquet. Well, our BASIC had sold 6 million copies, so I called them up and I said, well, what do you have for 6 million? They were like, what? What kind of software are you talking about? And so it was really utterly different. For this gentleman, hopefully at a young age, he'll see how to make robots, or how to make assistants, or some way of making software development far more efficient than it is today. Even though so many things have changed, if you look at, say the code that defines a website, or the code you write for business applications, I have to say, if you'd asked me 40 years ago what that would look like, I would have predicted that it would be much easier to do business applications, much easier to write highly reliable code. So there's an opportunity for somebody, and it's not just in software. If they can invent a way of making energy cheap and CO2 free, see a twist of using technology to do that. I'd say that would be a kind of a mind-blowing contribution. So the room for innovation, the speed for innovation is better today than ever. In my case, I didn't sit down and say, okay, I'm going to be better than IBM or something. I didn't have the same confidence that this person had. I knew I loved software. I wanted to mess around with it. And it led to, being able to create a company. But I didn't know, at any point in time, part of the reason I think I ran the company well, is I thought, okay, maybe the company will be twice as big. Let me get ready for that. I never said, well, of course, it will be gigantic, because then you might skip all the hard work of scaling up that factor of 2. And I thought, okay, this is it. I just have to build a management system for 5,000 people. If you said to me when I had 10 people and I was writing all the code, hey, you'll have 100,000 people, I would have laughed. I would have said, wow, how many bugs can you create with 100,000 people? I don't want 100,000 people. So, I wish you good luck.
So you're saying you don't really need to be this ambitious in order to be successful, right?
Well, I don't think, we can ask Elon, I don't think any of us assumed that things would line up to create, in his case, multiple successes that are pretty fantastic. I think if you had that, you knew that, you didn't think it was at risk, I'm not sure you would actually get there.
What other characteristics would you look for a potential successful entrepreneur?
Well, people who end up being successful are often, not always, but pretty fanatical about the thing they're trying to do. I remember one industry panel where there were about 7 people, and the debate was, would the computer interface be this character mode thing, or would it be graphics user interface? And at the time, the graphics user interface stuff was so slow, it was laughable. And writing software was so bad. It was Windows 1.0. And so the people on the panel were saying, no, this this is kind of a stupid thing. And I was saying, no, believe me, this will be great. And one of the guys on the panel said that hey, Bill is wrong, but Bill works harder than the rest of us, so even though it's the wrong solution, he's likely to succeed. And that was the best compliment I ever had, was that just by working day and night, I could send the industry in some funny direction. So, you know, I was fanatical in that period of time. That is, I didn't believe in vacation, I didn't believe in weekends. You know, so it turned out that worked for me, that we got our company going at a speed that allowed it to make mistakes faster than other people were, and kind of see those mistakes. And many software companies at the time thought of themselves as a single product company. And they were literally designed to be a single product company. And they thought that their sales were mostly going to be in the United States. We, from the beginning, planned to be a multi-product company. You know, BASIC, I don't know if people have ever heard of that, was our BASIC interpreter that ran on a bunch of computers, was our very first product. And of course today, they're still around, but you know, people use JavaScript for a lot of the things that BASIC was used for that. So we had a conception of a very big company, and we knew what we were about was software. Hiring software people and writing lots and lots of software, not a specific piece of software. So that helped us a lot. We said we're going to have the world's most efficient software factory. Elon has to actually build buildings and buy equipment to make the Gigafactory. We set up the Gigafactory of software, which is with a bunch of guys with better symbolic debuggers and better simulators and compilers and things like that. Now we didn't get other companies were also doing that, but we were somewhat ahead in terms of being serious about high quality software development.